Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you set 2 of Air Force Ace versus SKT1. SKT with the 1-0 lead after Alone took down Great. And we're going to head over to Ground 0, where we're going to have Best for SKT in yellow versus Cal, or Godzilla, for Ace. So this should be pretty fun. Again, two dragons, you know, Best has really turned it on this year. I've been really impressed with Best. His PVZ has just gotten, it's gone from basically in the gutter to top notch in no time flat, and he is actually he's just been looking fantastic. His form is really high right now, and when your third player Best on your team is playing this well, you are very scary. So SKT is just a very scary team right now, with Best playing as well as he is, and Fantasy and Busu being their normal selves. Yeah, very scary team. And on the other side we have Cal, who finally is done with basic training, so he is able to finally get into the flow of things and start playing some games a little bit more regular. I think in round 1, I don't even know if he played a single set in round 1. I don't believe he did, actually. I don't believe he even played a single game in round 1. And he's played a few here already in round 2. He's won a couple, lost a couple. I'll go check his actual record right now. It's only been a couple games that he's played so far, but certainly he has looked pretty decent here. And looking so far, he's played 3 games so far, and he is 2-1. He beat Shy, and presumably he beat, so I'm guessing that he cheesed C like everyone else has been, and then he has that loss to Shine. So this will be his 4th game of this year. And actually, never mind, he did play a couple times in round 1. Looks like he did play 2 or 3 games, and he beat Zero and Stork, actually, so he's actually looking really good. He's got wins against Zero, Stork, and C this year, so pretty impressive, actually. Coming to Ace from STX Seoul, he was playing, like, I hate to say it, but he was playing like complete crap? I don't know. At STX Seoul, it was awful watching him play at the end of his time at STX Seoul. It was absolutely terrible. He could not win a game. His micro was off. His gameplay decisions were really bad. Just a lot of errors coming in from Cal, but he's looked a lot better since he's come over to Ace, and maybe the discipline is doing him some good. Best did get the scout off early. He did go with that earlier scout. Cal hasn't even bothered to try and scout yet, and so we'll see if that has any effect. Because if Cal is late, if Cal scouts say counterclockwise and ends up scouting Best last, and Best decides to do something, I don't know, maybe a little tricky like 4-gate goon, or goes for DTs or something like that, it could end up really putting Cal in a big ditch. And Best also has a Zealot on his ramp, so Probe will not be able to get up that ramp, I don't believe. I think that one Zealot will be enough to hold it back. And on the other side, for Cal, he's got to sit here and chase this probe around, and Cal is just Best is just sitting here getting lots and lots of info. So Cal's in you know, at a strategic disadvantage here, and having no idea what Best is doing, whereas Best has an exact timing on everything right now, and the longer that probe stays alive, obviously, the longer that will end up being a problem. So Best is pretty comfortable right now, blocking off his ramps, and I really want to see where the tech choices go from here. Ooh, Cal missed a chance there to try and take a pot shot on that probe with that one Zealot, and Best now has 2 Zealots on that ramp, so absolutely no way is the probe going to get up there now. Dragoon range coming in for both players now, so very standard openings right now, very standard, as Best finally retreats his probe. Dragoon's going to be popping out really soon, so just going to retreat that probe for now, and successfully having scouted everything out, and it doesn't look like Best is going to do anything tricky here at all. Neither is Cal, throwing down a robotics facility. Very standard stuff. What are we going to see from Best? And it is going to be B. We have no tech buildings yet, so no tech buildings yet from Best. And I wonder if Cal actually canceled his range to get that down faster? Seems a little odd. No, he didn't. Just looks like Best is saving up his minerals and gas for something. So we'll have to watch out what that's actually being saved for, because Cal has already thrown down his robotics facility, whereas Best has not, and I'm switching the 2 names like crazy, and that's what it was saved for. It was saved for that Nexus. So we're going 1 gate core straight into Nexus for Best. Gonna try and get that economic lead, and for Cal, we've got that robotics facility. If that is an observatory next, in PvP, if that is an observatory next, we are going to be very sad. There comes the second gateway, so I'm hoping that we're gonna see a a support bait come up very, very quickly, just so that we can get some reavers, get some pressure on for Cal. That will really help him and give him a shot to do some damage. If he goes observers first, the timing is just really, really bad for you, and it's you just end up giving away the economic advantage without any real damage being done or really being able to do much of anything. And it is an observatory, so I fear for Cal right now. He will have the observatory out, he will have scouting information and scouting advantage, but his nexus is going to be so much later. He will have that second gateway up a little bit earlier as well, so he does have some advantages here, but you know, I think he definitely is going to be working from behind overall in this situation with his nexus being so much later. Cal or Best throwing up a couple more gateways, so he's up to 3 now as well. And will Best skip robotics completely? That's almost looks like what it's going to be. It doesn't even look like he hasn't even thrown up a facility yet. We have a shuttle out already with a couple of zealots. Not really sure what he's gonna. Or is he gonna put dragoons on the range? Can they actually harass the mineral line? I think they actually might be able to. If he can put a couple of dragoons on there, I wonder if they'll actually be able to harass that mineral line, which would be really funny actually. If you could do that with just dragoons, you don't have to wait for any higher tech unit. That'd be really nice for him. And Probe getting picked off here, but gives Best scouting information on where Cal's army is. And Best actually coming in here with an angular attack, and this is not good for Best right now. This is not a good angle for him, as his forces are just not hitting at the same time. And some nice micro here from Cal, doing a pretty good job as from Best as well. And Cal's actually gonna go up this ramp and try and defend at the top, and needs to bring all of his dragoons in, and he's actually going to ferry a couple of his dragoons out. So Best actually with the better micro there, able to focus fire a little better than Cal. Cal looks like he was splitting up a lot of his dragoon shots, wasn't able to focus them very, very clearly. So even though he had more zealots in that fight, and Best dragoons were kind of split up and asking basically to be separated and destroyed, Cal wasn't able to fight that battle properly, and going to take the loss. And Best is just going to keep gaining advantages here. Right now, side count is very, very even, but a lot more money, a lot more gas for Best, and that second base already being up so huge right now for Best. Best is just so far ahead. Once again, Cal's major advantage right now is that he's going to have Reavers out. He's going to have Reavers out well ahead of Best, way ahead of Best, and he's going to have them for a good bout of time to do some damage. If he can find an opportunity where he can get a little bit aggressive and try and use the fact that he's got Reavers and Best only has goons, that will help him out. Right now, Best is in full-on turtle mode. He's got dragoons ready to fight off against any shuttles that come in here for harassment. But I think he's basically seeding his front, allowing Cal right now to move right up to the front of his base, which is not good either, because that means that Cal's going to be able to play Reaver games, which is never fun. If you're the opposing players, you do not want to let your opponent be able to play Reaver games. And here come the two Reavers, and they're going to come in and just destroy the two Zealots. And Best is actually going to engage right here, and actually Cal has a huge shot to actually win this game right here with those Reavers doing so much damage. Best is in huge trouble. Cal coming in here with all those Reavers. The shuttle goes down, but the Reavers are fine. One Reaver does go down, second Reaver is going to be fine. Best is going to be destroyed here, and I think Best is actually going to have to cheat. Best just got absolutely wrecked in that fight. Those Reavers just doing so much damage, and we saw there that the huge factor that Best having those Reavers being so late here, it just has such a huge effect on that game. And that Reaver Scarab, if it hits, yeah, there it goes, gonna kill off a bunch of probes, and Best is just in huge trouble. That is going to be Gabe. I think an interesting fact of this is that Best went with that double gateway right after throwing that Nexus. If he went gateway robotics facility, I wonder if the timing of his Reaver would have been early enough. His own Reaver shuttle would have been early enough to fight that off. But he went with that double gateway, was afraid of a big Dragoon Zealot push or something like that. So he went with those extra goons in the middle middle stages of the game, and that delayed his Reavers. Which once the double Reaver popped for Cal, yeah, Cal was just in a far superior military shape, and does take the victory here, so evens up this match as well. Cal defeating Best. The series is tied 1-1. We'll be heading on to set 3. It is going to be Fantasy versus Stardust. I'm not sure who that is, so we'll find out who Stardust actually is in the next set. I'll see you guys all there.
견제밖에 없을 것이다. 견제에 대한 대비를 해놨는데 정면지역으로 완전 꼬아서 들어왔어요.